And welcome to Kelowna Now. We're live on YouTube and X with your evening news headlines.
And we're in Santa's workshop, I think.
We are. Check it out. This is quite something.
It took us a little while to kind of put this together.
We've been sleeping all day here.
We've been doing something.
Yeah. And we'll be broadcasting from our special Christmas corner here tonight and tomorrow and making way for a bit of a festive occasion tomorrow.
So welcome to the 4 o'clock news.
Yeah.
Almost on time. I think we're a minute behind, so we're trying to stay on schedule.
Well, then we'll get right to it. Work continues on historic Kettle Valley Rail Trail Tunnel in the South Okanagan.
You've been up there?
I have,
lots. You've been up there lots. So you live around there too, right?
Every year I get up.
So a significant amount of work's been completed on the historic Adra Tunnel on the Kettle Valley Rail Trail, just above Naramata. Earlier this year, a regional district of Okanagan-Similkameen said engineering assessments were beginning. And shortly after that, the province approved physical rock bolting and shotcrete work. And I know that. I used to work at a mine site. So that kind of stuff is pretty cool. They put those bolts in there and hold it all together. So there you go. The reopening of the Adra Tunnel will enhance tourism in the region and become a destination for people of all ages. I think if you live in the Okanagan, you should go up there once. And if you're a tourist, it's an amazing place to go. It's a 109-year-old tunnel. And it's been closed for over 40 years. And once it reopens, it will offer a 90-minute e-bike ride from Penticton to Kelowna.
It's great.
That's swell, eh?
Yeah. The whole rail or that trail up there is just a lot of fun.
Like Kettle Valley Rail Trail goes all the way to Midway. Have you ever done?
Yeah, no, I haven't gone to Penticton though. It gets a little sandy in that southern portion.
I grew up in Midway area there, so there you go.
That'd make a nice. You'd probably have to overnight. I don't know.
I don't think it's that far, but sure.
Might just stay the night in. I don't know where would you cross over from? Would you go to Osoyoos and over, or would you cross over sooner than Osoyoos from?
Oh, no, I don't think it goes anywhere near Osoyoos, does it?
I don't know. How to get to?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, that's something to look into because it's a neat experience. And if
I think it'd go along the Rock Creek side, like down along there.
Yeah, so it'd have to hop over that ridge though. Another story here: missing Kelowna man made concerning comments before vanishing, says his roommate.
The RCMP said there's a great concern for his well-being of this man that's gone missing. 49-year-old Kelly Murphy reported him missing on Sunday. A friend and a roommate of, so this is the man's name, Kelly Murphy. A roommate reported him missing. He made some concerning comments. So according to police, the missing man was last seen a red hoodie, white hat, black and white runners. If you see him, ask him to report in to the RCMP.
A 20-unit apartment on Lakeshore Road moved forward despite traffic concerns. We saw a lot of activity on social media.
We even got some comments already, right? That Kelowna City Council has given the green light to the rezoning application to change a property to the apartment housing zone to make way for a 20-unit building on Lakeshore Road. During the Monday meeting, Council took another look at the request after deferring a decision in October when there was concerns about the traffic problems in the area. At that time, the vote, Tom Dice asked the staff to bring an application back for a 3593 Lakeshore Road with more information on transportation network. After receiving more information, city staff, the rezoning request was passed by a 6-3 vote. There you go.
And it was councillors Charlie Hodge, Ron Cannon, and Rick Weber who were opposed.
There you go. Again, you can read more about that story on KelownaNow.com. And here's a story. There's a lot of detail on that story that you can go and read on Kelowna Now.
And a Penticton family that was displaced by fire, then burglarized, is on the road to recovery now, finally. Yeah,
so he moved to the Okanagan 7 years ago and has since become one of the most recognizable people on the Penticton scene.
He was on the radio
there. This is Gord that's taken all these great photos there. If you listen to local radio, you'll likely know him from his morning host stints a couple of years back with 97.1 Sun FM. You're an old Sun FM guy, too, right?
Yeah.
Jason Mann of Sun FM. There you go.
Alumni.
There you go. If you attend Penticton V's games, you'll likely know him as the team's at Rick. I was thinking of Rick Madison there. At Rick MC and Hype Man. There you go. Well, that's probably why I got Rick's name out of the Hype Man. If you go to the Penticton's Farmers Market or any of the region's other markets, you'll likely know him as the operator of Soda Creek Soap Company, too. So that's cool. He's doing some cool stuff. And do we have that picture of his house that was caught fire? There you go.
So that burned, and then while he was displaced living in a hotel or an Airbnb, somebody came in and looted him, basically.
We had that same issue here in Kelowna. Remember when that semi drove into the guy's house, and then there was just like an ongoing saga. Like, I think that semi was stuck in the house for weeks.
Really,
they were scared to pull it out. And when they pulled it out, it was kind of a non-event, right? So hopefully better things for
for that family. Nice little business that they.
Gord's done an amazing story. If you go on KelownaNow.com or PentictonNow.com, you're going to find tons and tons of photos that Gord took and a lot more about the story. So.
On the entertainment scene, this is an event every year that I know so many people look forward to. The 32nd Annual Salmon Arm Roots and Blues Festival. Early bird passes are now available.
2024 Roots and Blues Festival were announced. And are you going? And the 2023 was canceled.
Yeah,
it was
canceled.
The weekend due to the wildfires. And so this is going to be, again, a rebirth of that.
They've grew that into a fairly sizable event. Yeah.
There you go. So again, KelownaNow.com for all the details. And you can buy your tickets early.
All right. Big White getting approval on a $65,000 grant application to fund free community shuttle.
I think that's big news, right?
Yeah.
That's I guess we've had some negative news of late with no snow, but now this is great news for the people that are trying to get up to the hill without a car.
Yeah.
And it's a free ride up, so that's awesome. The Board of Tourism Big White Society was informed that its grant application for a free Big White Mountain Community Shuttle is approved by the Okanagan Trust of the Southern Interior. Great news. The free community shuttle will run from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week, starting Saturday, December 16th, until the end of ski season.
All right.
And here's hoping for a long ski season.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's funny, just at the end of the ski season, when the mountain gets so bare, the ski hill closes, and then a couple days later, there's always a big dump, and you just wish that it would stay open for a little longer. I don't know.
Well, they got to take safety into consideration, and they don't want big rocks exposed and stuff like that. So,
BC teacher suspended after "quote unquote" triggering students by making them deliver presentations about their lives.
A BC teacher has been suspended after he upset students in his grade 12 class by telling them to deliver presentations on sacred cow topics. The assignment Kaljit Singh Uppal gave to his students required them to discuss the likes of immigration, substance abuse, mental health, and body image.
Well, you know, grade 12, is it too, I don't know, is it too early to talk about those things?
Those who presented during the 2-day assignment are often crying, while 2 left class during the talk. Some of the students reported experiencing panic attacks, feeling traumatized, and stripped naked.
Ooh.
And one even self-harm after going home following the presentations. Yeah.
I mean, it all depends on, I guess, the context and how it, came about.
I think it's always better to do those kind of learning lessons maybe in the third party as opposed to get someone to bear their, when you're kind of told you got to do it in front of the classmates. I don't know.
That's a little rough, isn't it?
You know what I mean? Like, if you do it in third party and do a story on what you think is going on, there's enough of this going on in the world that you could do it in the third party, right?
Yeah.
There's enough suffering going on that you don't have to make somebody relive that, so especially a young
person. Talking about it seems like something you should be doing, but like, I guess revealing those
And to top it off, Uphill was dishonest during the district's investigation regarding reportable disclosures in previous classes.
In trouble.
Okay.
There you go. Kelowna residents can now place ornaments on the Tree of Memories.
There you go. Anyone looking to honor the memory of a loved one can do so by placing an ornament on the Tree of Memories at the Kelowna Memorial Park Cemetery. There you go. A nice little thing you can do.
Part of your healing process. It's rain and wind pummeling BC as the atmospheric river makes landfall.
Yeah, we talked about this for the last couple of days. Again, if you're out there driving, if you're driving any of the highways, and especially in the mountain passes, be extra careful, right? Strong winds, rain. I mean, you get a lot of rain on the road and strong winds. You can hydroplane, and so just, caution is definitely your friend.
In Vancouver, they're closing down some streets, I've noticed on social media, due to some local area flooding, some lower roads.
Ever been in Calgary when they get? Well, you must have been in Calgary when you get that downpour.
Yeah.
Intersections are just flooded in seconds, right? So anyway, be safe. Always better to be cautious. And if you don't have to go during events like this, best to stay home.
Yeah.
Right. So we did a EV energized show today with Gord Lovegrove, Dr. Gord Lovegrove, a UBCO professor and also a city councillor. We talked basically hybrid versus full electric. And we also talked a little solar and dashed that in with a little kind of, I think that was about it. Though, right?
A little bit of hydrogen. We talked
a little bit of hydrogen. Maybe we talk about hydrogen at the end. We might do a hydrogen show.
I didn't realize he was so involved in the hydrogen research. Actually.
But a really good show in that Gord's been driving hybrid for like 15 years, 20 years, like that. And you've been driving your
electric
EV for
a year,
and I've been driving mine for a year. So it was a good show. Lots of good firsthand experience and a lot of sharing there. So that was great. So in X-Files today, we have a couple of things.
Oh, yeah.
We pull stuff that's trending. We're not trying to pick stuff that is political, but this is what's trending on CBC on Twitter right now. Marcy picked these, so and she read it and she's like, what's going on here? So I guess why don't we start with the Pierre comment first, because I think that's where it starts. So we talked about it this morning a bit. If you could pull up that other. Yeah. So, you're right there. We talked about this morning. CBC is laying off 600 employees just before the weeks before the holidays. And then they did an interview with the head of the CEO of CBC asking if they're going to dole out bonuses again. And she would not say whether or not they were going to do bonuses or not. And they did big bonuses in 2022. Big, and then big in like the years past. Like, I mean, if you go look at the morning newscast, you'll see all the things. Kind of like tough to be laying off people here in just before Christmas, and then not saying whether you're going to give bonuses to the management team or yourself for that matter. Pierre said the head of CBC won't commit to canceling year-end executive bonuses while she lays off 600 people just for holidays, and then it got political because an MP from the Liberal Party. I guess came out and said that Pierre Poilievre is attacking the foundations of our democracy. I'm not sure if CBC is the foundation of our democracy. And that's what Rupa. Rupa's an independent journalist, and she does some work for the National Post as well. She's been recognized worldwide for some of her work. She was just recently at the U.S. at their Senate hearings on freedom of speech and that. And I mean, you can read her tweet there. Why should the CBC be? You can read it yourself. So I like all these things always get politicized, and it's just odd, right? Like, but what I do find odd, laying off 600 people, big bonuses last year, and won't commit to saying whether or not they'll do a bonus this year.
It might be how they get those bonuses.
I find it odd. That's all. I'm saying it's odd. No, I think it'd be tough, right? To take a large bonus after you've laid people off. I don't know. I don't want to stick to that, but I mean, just like.
Well, I think the counter argument. I'm just going to play the devil's advocate here. I don't have a horse in this race, and I certainly don't believe what I'm about to say. But the premise would be, we've done such a good job managing our expenses.
Spoken like a true accountant. Wow.
Well, I'm saying that's the narrative. That's the only narrative.
That's a narrative, all right.
True enough.
All right, we're going to introduce Kent's video. Kent and Nick were out there doing a video. Marcy's going to run that video for us.
That's it.
The city of Kelowna is now into the final stages of establishing a plan for the north end. But there's one part missing, and that is this. If you were walking along the city's beautiful waterfront walkway, how exactly would you get there?
It was one of the requests that council had, is that when staff come back to look at that accessibility, so it's an easy flow all the way from downtown right to Knox Mountain and the most efficient route as possible, but understanding that these plans are 25, 30-year plans, so there will be different facets and different kind of stages of this development as we work through that over that period of time.
There you go. Full video.
It'd be nice to see if you take that approach with the entire city, because I think lots of parts of the city are slow and hard to access, and if we're going to grow the city to a larger size, the infrastructure needs to be
one
there.
of the things that I said would be great for the city to do is to do the whole loop, right? Like we could take the rail trail and then tie it back into the all along the lake and Mission Creek Greenway, and then loop it back around the Ziprick there and area and around the Costco area there. And if we had that as almost like a Stanley Park kind of walk and did that, and where people could ride their bikes and take walks, that'd be an amazing kind of thing. And there's quite a bit of it's already done, right? The rail trail's there. The a lot of the beach, like all the way from Waterfront Park all the way down to the city park is pretty well till Mill Creek, and then there's some houses that are in the way, or beach fronts. I think I should say houses, but some wharfs are in the way, and then quite a bit of it's opened up though too. So then you can get all the way down to the El Dorado, and it's all opened up again, and then you're in the Mission Creek Greenway, and then all the way up to the Greenway there, you basically get to Ziprick and Springfield, and then you'd have to cross Ziprick and then cross right around the old Costco cross back over into the rail trail there, and you'd have a loop. Like it's like I'd say like 85% of that's done.
Yeah. That would
when
make
you're
the city
mayor,
more
you get that
accessible
done,
too.
right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
there you
Let's
go.
do it.
Or when I'm mayor, we'll get her done. That's all we have for tonight, right?
That's it.
We're gonna do this again tomorrow morning from Santa's workshop. Until then, have a safe night and have a great evening.
And stay dry.